Hi, guys. Have you always had some burning questions you wanted answered on your upcoming vacation? Well, today we've got a question and answer session for you to see if we can answer some of those burning questions. That's coming up today on Oceanears Travel.
Hello, and welcome to the Oceanears Travel Show.
Hi.
The Oceanears Travel Show. We're back again.
We are. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. I don't know if I'm everybody or not, but
Well, I'm talking to people out there.
well, how is everybody out there?
Hello. Hope everybody's having a good week.
Hope everybody had a good Halloween. We did.
Yes, if you're seeing this, Halloween was yesterday.
Love Halloween time.
We do. We have a great time at Halloween. Of course, our kiddo is getting a little bit out of the Halloween type age. She still kind of did some stuff this year, but she wasn't as enthusiastic at it as she was last year and the years before.
Definitely didn't seem as motivated. She
wore the same costume as last year. She didn't really have any desire to do anything new, and yeah.
She's at that weird age where she's between the trick-or-treating but not quite into the haunted houses yet, so it's kind of
yeah, and it's
that odd age.
And it's becoming, I guess, uncool amongst her friends too.
And then the older you get, it gets cool again because
Yeah,
I love Halloween.
We love Halloween. We're actually
I'm dressing up.
Yeah, we dressed up because this is in the past.
Right. That's what I meant.
We record ahead, so this is a day before Halloween.
Whatever. I dressed up for Halloween. I was the ugliest woman you've ever seen.
Yeah, Charles cross dresses for Halloween a lot.
Kind of my thing.
It's kind of funny. Yeah.
So, it's the beard that does it. I am the ultimate bearded lady.
Definitely.
So. But I'm not shaving the beard.
No, he's
I shaved it once.
He's come attached to the beard. He shaved it. Yeah, he did shave it once, and he was sad.
New shirt. Don't know if they can see the shirt. Can you see the shirt? We got a new shirt.
We've got our mugs on a t-shirt now, so
available at oceanearstravel.com
along with Dunch.
That's a little snug. I look kind of swole in it.
Yeah, swole.
I said swole.
Swole? Listen at this guy.
That's a word, right?
Yeah. Look at your biceps.
Yeah. I've been working out.
Yeah.
On eating. That's about it. So.
Yeah. So we're glad to be here today. Like I said earlier, we have a question and answer session for you today.
Yeah, today's going to be a little bit different episode. No news, We're just, we asked everybody out there to submit questions, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, through the website, through submission forms, comments, whatever, everywhere. And we got quite a few, actually.
We did. I kind of had to pick and choose, and I still chose about, 15 to 20, I guess.
And she's only gave them to me. She has not really seen the full question, so.
Yes, I kind of just jotted some stuff down and threw them to him and said, "Hey, here you go," and he can ask me, and I'll try to come up with an answer.
So, we are getting ready to head back to Dollywood. Their festivities start this coming weekend.
Yes, this coming weekend starts the Smoky Mountain Christmas, which
we'll be glad for that to be gone.
Fantastic celebration. Beautiful to see the Christmas decorations at Dollywood. They pretty much put a Christmas light on everything that is stationary. And I'm talking everything. I'm talking trees with every branch and limb decorate. I mean, it's phenomenal. So we're looking forward to that.
So we will have a video of that coming very soon. Rumors and innuendo.
Miss Dolly is going to be in town next weekend. So
we definitely want to see that.
For a surprise, maybe showing of Dolly. Sometimes she'll come over and ride through the park. So we're hoping maybe for that. The newest, and I know we said no news, but this is just kind of popped up. The newest Dollywood Resort, the Lodge, is grand opening on Friday. And she will be in town for that. So we're hoping maybe the weekend
she'll get a glimpse of Dolly and the girls.
Yeah. We love Dolly. Dolly's like amazing. Don't take our Dolly.
Dolly and the girls.
Yeah. Charles, no.
They are
Once a
stuff of
man,
legend.
always a man. So
Yeah, what can you say? She's still hot.
yeah,
Dolly's hot. I don't care what anybody says.
Dolly keeps herself up. She said, what'd she say? I'm too expensive to look this cheap or something. I cost too much to
Cost too much to look this cheap.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
But anyway, we will be going back to Dollywood. We will have a video of that coming very soon with the holiday celebration there.
Yes, there's a new tasting pass available.
Yum, love the tasting passes.
Holiday treats. So we'll be doing that.
We will also be doing our regular Thanksgiving in Disney World.
Yay. Excited for that. About 3 weeks away.
We're only doing 2 parks this time.
But we're going to show you some other stuff around Orlando. And
then a couple weeks later, we're going back for your birthday.
We got a lot of stuff coming up.
So, and then, of course, January, Icon. Which has been a long time in the making. I'm sure everybody out there is like, shut up about Icon.
Yep.
But that will be a lot coming about Icon in January.
Yep.
So, if you're ready, we'll just go ahead and hop on in.
I do know that this is going to be a mix of some cruising questions as well as some theme park Disney questions.
These are in no particular order, and I'm not dividing them up. I'm just drawing, and we're going with it. So I hope you're ready.
I'll do the best I can, guys.
So we're going to start out with a Karen.
Oh, no.
No, her name's actually Karen.
Okay.
Karen for YouTube. We are not going to mention last names out of respect, but Karen from YouTube.
Okay.
Looks like she is from Oklahoma.
Okay.
And the question is, how many cruises have you been on?
Let me take off my shoes.
She talking to me? She talking to you? Because I've been on one more than you.
Charles has been on one more than me. So my count
that you know of.
At 23.
23.
So his is at 24.
That you know of. So 24 cruises, most of which have been on
Royal Caribbean
and Carnival.
We are looking to expand our palette, of course.
I have been on a Norwegian.
Yes.
But it was so long ago, it was with the Titanic. I went on one when I was, guess I was in 7th grade. I
thought you said you was like 14 or 15. 14 maybe.
Yeah. 13. No, I was younger than that. It was like 7th grade. I think. Okay. 7th or 8th grade.
Okay.
And it was a steamship. The total weight of this ship was 16,000 gross tons.
Nice. So a lifeboat.
Pretty much a lifeboat on the new ships. And it was an actual steamship. Very, very old ship. It is no longer around. Well, actually, it is still around. It is no longer a cruise line. It is now a casino ship in Singapore.
Ah, cool.
Last I heard, it may have changed since then, but it was sold to a company in Singapore who turned it into a floating casino.
So. Our first cruise together, my first cruise was on Carnival Fascination, which has since been scrapped.
We've been on that ship several times.
Yeah, we did. You know, your first cruise sometimes is like your first love, and you just keep going back. And anyway, she was fantastic. We really enjoyed it. We went on spring break in 2006. That was our first cruise together, and my first cruise, and I've been hooked ever since. I've been on one or multiple since then every year. So definitely can't.
And it's never enough. You want more.
No.
All right. Next question. We're going to move on from that.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a guy or a girl. I'm assuming it's a girl. It's Billy.
Okay.
It could be a guy. It could be a girl. They are from Georgia.
Oh.
This question was submitted via Facebook.
I can't say go dogs. I'm sorry.
No. Boo. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I am extremely budget conscious. Where should I stay at Disney for a family of 4?
Oh, okay, Billy. Well, let me tell you, first and foremost, consider talking with a travel professional like myself, because you may think that you're budget conscious and your budget may be large considered to some other people's budgets, but
yeah, it's all relative.
It all is relative to what your budget is, of course. So, number one, your cheapest options on property are usually going to be the all-star resorts. And there's really not a bad property that you can stay at on Disney. There's larger than life theming, there's pools, there's food on site. You can't really go wrong. However, if you are able to, my personal favorite value resort is Pop Century.
Like Pop
Um,
Century.
they have theming as well. It's very themed to like different decades. So think like, 70s, 60s, 90s, all that type of stuff. So larger than life theming. Also, it's on the Skyliner route, which having an option for Disney transportation other than buses is a plus. So definitely consider that. But
Don't like the
you
buses.
can't really go wrong at a Disney resort. There are also some really good off property options that you can look into, like an Airbnb. If you have a family of four, we want a little bit more room to, move around. If you are driving, there's also some really good hotels around the Kissimmee, Orlando, Walt Disney World area that are budget friendly as well. So definitely look into all of those.
All right. And it is all relative. What is a
Yeah, I mean,
budget conscious for some
you
people?
may think that $2,500 a week is budget conscious. Some people may think that 1,500, but some people also may say 5 grand is their budget. So you can definitely get different options for different price points.
And what is important to you? Different things are
Yes.
important to different people. Some people are really concerned about the luxuriousness
Some people
of the room.
want upscale food options or the
And
ability to
some
get
people could
around.
care less
Mhm.
about the room because they're not going to be in it. So
Yes.
there's so many factors that could go into play there.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
The next one comes from Twitter. So the lady's name is Anne
Anne.
from Illinois. Anne from Illinois.
Hello, Anne.
I have a family of 6. What are my cruise cabin options? That is a good question. Cruise cabins can be very confusing.
Yes. Now, Anne, there are some cruise cabins out there that sleep 6. Your more obvious choices are going to be suites, and those can be very expensive. However, on certain ships, and I know Royal Caribbean specifically has a few of these, there are family style cabins that sleep 6. You're going to have a bed that sleeps 2, a sofa bed that sleeps 2, and then a small like nook area that has 2 bunk beds in it. Those can be ideal for some families. However, consider you will still only have the one small bathroom. If it is in your budget, I suggest doing a connecting cabin, whether it be interior, ocean view, balcony, etc., just for the 2 bathroom options. Also, you can consider doing maybe a balcony for, look at Charles, look at him. Maybe doing a balcony for the adults. Maybe the 2 adults stay in the balcony. And then if you have, say, older children, you could put them directly across the hall in an interior. That's an option. We've done that before.
Or just make them sleep on the pool deck.
But there's definitely lots of options depending upon your budget. And sometimes if you think about the amount that you're going to spend for a one person room that fits 6, you can usually divide that up and get 2 rooms and have more room and more bathrooms. So
I recommend mommy and daddy get the balcony and put the kids across the hall in the inside stateroom. That seems to work well. You're on a cruise ship; they can't go anywhere, so you don't really have to worry about them getting in too much stuff.
You can also,
if they're over the age of 8, 9, 10,
that they're all together. If you have younger kids, you could obviously put them in the room with you. You don't really worry about them getting out and moving around too much by themselves. You can also, when you're on board, get keys to both rooms so that you always have access to that other room and you can go over there and go in anytime you want. So that is an option. And we did that when we first took our kids on a cruise. We did a balcony and an interior, and it worked out perfectly for us. They had their own room, and we had ours.
Note to self there, though, you do normally have to have one adult listed on that stateroom. Once you're on board, you can sleep wherever you want,
Yes.
but you do have to have an adult with the stateroom kids. They're not going to harass you about this or check on it, but also make sure that you do control your kids' spending.
That's a good thing to say.
Because they can go nuts sometimes.
They definitely get their own C-Pass cards or, sail and sign card.
Make sure you put a limit on it.
You need to definitely put a limit on that because they can go just swipe it anywhere.
So keep that in mind.
You can also cancel spending privileges on each card as well. So, yeah, keep that.
Yeah, it's not per room, it's per person that you can limit or cancel or suspend. All right, we're moving on. Next question. We got a lot of these to get through. We probably will not get through all these, but we're going to do our best.
We'll do our best to do what we can.
Sarah from Ohio.
Hi, Sarah.
Submitted a question. She said, how do I get on the most popular rides at Disney without buying Genie Plus or individual Lightning Lanes? Well, Sarah, you go to Universal instead. That's your answer.
Sarah, okay. So you've got a couple options here. Number one, you got to get up early and you got to rope drop. You've got to be at the park, an hour to 30 minutes before it ever opens. Most parks you can get so far before the actual opening time, and you want to be the person or the first couple of rows of people on that rope. When they say rope drop, they actually hold a rope that prevents you from going any further, and you stand behind that rope, and at park open, they drop it. That's called rope drop.
Yeah, because normally the gates open an hour or so before the actual park itself to where you can get into the park and go so far.
Mm-hmm.
But you're cut off at that point from actually getting to the ride. You can get to the...
Yes, like in Magic Kingdom, you can go down Main Street and go in some of the shops and grab a coffee or a Danish.
You can eat, get coffee, get your ECVs, and strollers, whatever, that type stuff you can do.
Kind of Animal Kingdom, you can get up to like where the Tree of Life is. But then once you start splitting off and going each direction, they're going to hold you there. Same kind of thing at Epcot. They're going to be on either side of Spaceship Earth, holding you there. But you want to be some of those first people so that when they drop that rope, you can take off and go get in standby line for whatever ride you deem that's most important. Magic Kingdom, it's usually Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. You go straight there. Over at Animal Kingdom, it's Flight of Passage. Over at Hollywood Studios, it's Rise of the Resistance. Over at Epcot, it's usually, Frozen or Remy's. So those are the things that you're going to want.
Now at Epcot.
Well, Guardians is
That's right. Guardians is only virtual queue right now. That's right.
Also,
my fault.
Also, keep in mind with those virtual queues is that you can still do those. Those do not cost anything extra. You just have to be up at 7 a.m. ready to get into those virtual queues. Okay, so those are things that you can do that do not cost any additional money for Tron and for Guardians. Another thing, you can go ride these rides last thing in the evening. So if you're in the park at park close, as long as you are in line 1 minute before the park officially closes, you can stand in the line. So that doesn't mean that if Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is still at a 2-hour wait, you can get in line if the park closes at 10 o'clock at 9:59, then wait your 2 hours. You're not wasting 2 hours in line during the day when you could be doing other things.
My advice also would be to invest in the Genie Plus. I know it is a cost, but it is worth it.
And also, you don't have to buy Genie Plus to buy the individual Lightning Lanes. If you only want to do Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or, Guardians or Tron or Flight of Passage, whatever. If you only want to do those, then you can only purchase those rides. You don't have to necessarily.
Correct. Genie Plus isn't a cost, and it's not a perfect system by any means. But there are some advantages to it, so keep that in mind as well.
There are, and once you learn enough about it, you can use it to your advantage. And we can do a whole, episode on just Genie Plus, and maybe we will, about some little caveats and some little nuances to it that will help you do things during your day. So yeah,
it's not going anywhere.
Good luck.
So. It is difficult. It is challenging. You have to decide what's really important to you. Yeah. And if Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is very important to you, make sure you get it first thing when you first get there.
And
You're
just
still going to have a wait, but it's going to be less than, after the park's been open an hour.
right.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Mary from Twitter.
Mary.
She's from Alabama. I don't even know if I can ask in Alabama.
Oh, it'll be all right.
Roll Tide. All right. I can only afford one holiday event at Disney. Which one should I do? This is a tricky question. What kind of holiday are we talking about? Are we talking about like a festival or just a holiday?
Well,
because I know my choice for festivals, but I don't know if that.
When I think about her
I'm assuming
writing
she's
this
talking
question,
Christmas.
I'm assuming she's talking Christmas, just because of the timing of these questions that they came in. So I'm going to answer this based on a Christmas question. And also, I would ask, do you have children that are going to these parties?
Need a little more information there.
Are you going by yourself as an adult? My personal preference, just right off, is going to be to go to Mickey's Christmas party at Magic Kingdom, just because it's your nostalgic park. The castle's going to be lit up. You're going to have different fireworks. You're going to have holiday celebrations. The characters are going to be in their cute little Christmas costumes. The decorations are fantastic. Free cocoa and cookies, well, included.
Nothing's free.
And it's a larger park. So you've got larger amounts of rides with less wait time. So I feel like you can get more done for your buck there. However, the newest Jolliday, what do you call it?
Jolliday.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Over at
Jolliday.
Over at Hollywood Studios. If you have older children that enjoy thrill rides more, this may be more for them. So, you want to take into account.
There's a lot of factors that go into play there.
Yeah. That,
My personal choice, I'd skip all the holiday stuff and go to Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. But that's just me. That's my favorite Disney thing every year. It's not a holiday, but it's where I'd be.
Yeah, we could definitely.
If you don't have kids, definitely Food and Wine.
Just on the Epcot festivals. And maybe we'll do that. So yes. So take into consideration what ages your kids are if you're going by yourself. But think about, what you want to accomplish too while you're there. Okay. We will be having a video out later on about Mickey's Christmas party. We're going to go to that very soon, so you'll be able to see that.
2-3 weeks. All right. This one is Liz from YouTube.
Liz.
From Rhode Island. Isn't that our second question from Rhode Island?
I don't know. I don't think we've had a Rhode Island. We've had
maybe
Illinois
I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because there's only like 12 people on Rhode Island, so it would be... It's the size.
Don't say that about our friends in Rhode Island. There's more of them than
I've been to Rhode Island. Rhode Island's a beautiful place, but it's the size of this table.
Okay.
There's like 3 houses in Rhode Island.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Get on with it, Charles.
Liz from YouTube from Rhode Island.
Liz.
What cruise should I take for me and my family? 2 adults, 2 kids, 2 and 11.
Okay. So a 2-year-old and an 11-year-old.
2 adults with 2 kids. 1 kid's 2, 1 kid's 11 is the way that I'm reading this question.
Okay.
Which is Rhode Island, so that's half the population of Rhode Island.
If it's in your budget, Disney cruise. Just pick a Disney cruise ship and go. If you're not Disney adverse, or if it's not in your budget, then I would look into Royal Caribbean. You're going to want to search for the Oasis class ships or the Freedom class ships. Any of those are going to suit your needs. And the reason I want to be specific on your ship is you're going to need a ship with a baby bay. And the baby bay is a splash away bay specifically for children that are not potty trained. If you did not know, on cruise ships, children that are not potty trained or are in diapers of any sort are not allowed in any of the pools on board. And this is a Coast Guard rule. This is not a cruise line rule. So you need to be aware of that before you head into this and try to stick your kids in the regular pool, because you'll be told to get out. But
are your hands cold over here? What are we doing?
Yeah, my hands are cold.
You're wrapping yourself up like a mummy.
So definitely check into some of the ships that have some splash pads and pools available for toddlers and kids. And Royal Caribbean has done a really good job at providing that. They are called Baby Bay. So look into that. I can also help you if you want to reach out and get you set up on a fantastic vacation.
Yeah, we found that out the hard way.
Yeah. Our kid was in between, I guess. I mean, she was using the bathroom, but she still had some occasional accidents, and she was, so yeah, it was very difficult for us to manage that. And she didn't understand why. But it all worked out. We still had a great cruise.
All right, moving on.
Yes. Hope that answered your question.
From Twitter, Seth from Mississippi.
Seth, so a boy. A guy.
Yeah, I know, right?
A guy question. Ooh, what's this going to be?
Should I buy the drink package?
Seth.
Well, it's a whole lot easy to get hammered, Seth.
Okay, Seth. So you need to figure out
Why did I know this was going to be about a drink package?
I know, from a guy.
Seth. Sounds like a college kid. Sorry, Seth.
So, Seth, number one, first and foremost, if you decide to get your drink package, if there is another adult in your cabin, they're going to be required to get the drink package too. Just keep that in mind. Also, how much do you like to drink in a day, Seth? Is this going to be a free-for-all? Let's just go at it. If it is, then yes, buy the drink package. Cruise line drinks range anywhere from, $8 for a beer to $15 for a mixed drink. And cruise prices for drink packages are anywhere from, $60 to $100 per person per day. So if you're drinking 6 to 10 drinks a day, then this is going to be cost efficient for you to do. Because not only does it include your alcoholic beverages, like your mixed drinks, all your beer, etc., you're going to get specialty coffees, sodas, juices that are not available, in the buffets and restaurants. Some ships have smoothie bars that will include that. Yeah, so, there's a lot more that you can get. Milkshakes at Johnny Rockets if you're doing Royal Caribbean. And also Royal Caribbean's drink package is truly unlimited, so you can do as much as you want, which is great if you're going to pay the price.
Which is kind of strange considering Carnival is the party ship.
And theirs are limited. But Carnival's is limited to 15 drinks a day, so
that's still a lot
of drinks.
How hammered do you plan on getting, Seth? That's the question. And can I go with you?
If you plan on having 8 to 10 or more drinks a day, then I think the drink package is a good choice for you.
All right.
And it also helps you budget. If you buy that up front,
then you don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it.
We are all about the budgeting up front. Pay for as much stuff before you go as you can. That way there's no surprises and you've already planned ahead.
Then, that just helps you control what you spend.
On board, yep. All right. We got another guy question. That's weird. We don't get too many fellas.
Oh, boy. I like it.
Ronnie. Mr. Ron from YouTube.
Hey, Ron.
He's from Florida.
Ron from Florida.
It's got to be a cruise question. Oh, it's not a cruise question. Oh, okay. So how do you get relaxation in during your Disney vacation?
I understand, buddy.
Been there, done that. I'll tell you the first thing, Ron. Don't overplan.
Yeah.
We just said plan ahead. Disney's a little different story.
Yes, and what you need to do is plan. I like to plan. I'm a planner. But you can also plan in some relaxation. One thing that we have discovered that we like to do is take a break midweek. If you're going for an entire week and you have multiple park days, maybe do a park day, take a break, or do 2 park days, take a break. You need to really limit yourself because you're going to wear out really quick. Another option is to get up early, rope drop, do a lot of things until, say, 11 o'clock, noon, then leave. go back to your resort, stay until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and go back in the evening. You're going to miss that peak daytime
Especially if you go in the summer.
And that heat. Yeah, that's
especially during the summer, because the heat in the summer is brutal.
If you have people or you're with people that want to stay in the park all day long and they don't want to leave,
leave them there.
Yeah, leave them there and go back. Or what you can do is there are tons of lounges and restaurants and places that you can go and sit. Let them go and do their thing. Tell them you'll be here, give them a call. They can call you when they're ready to move on. But sit around and enjoy some of the general splendor, because these parks are beautiful. Over in Animal Kingdom, there's the Nomad Lounge where you can like sit on the riverside there and watch as the flotillas go by. There's all kinds of things that you can do to help combat some of the stress.
The first time we went to Disney and stayed on property, we went for a week. Well, we went for 5 days, and we tried to do all 4 parks in 5 days. That's a bad idea.
Yeah,
I always recommend what we do now, no matter when we go or whether we're staying on park or not. We do a park, day off, park, day off, park, day off. Don't try to fit it all in. It doesn't matter. I've been to Disney now 3-4 dozen times and still haven't seen it all. I bet you we've been to Disney 40-50 times.
Yeah.
And we still haven't seen it all. And you won't.
No. And when we say see it all, like there's some things that you do every time you go there, but there's also little crevices and shows and shops and restaurants and things that you can do that you'll just never get to, and that's okay.
And when I say Disney, I mean Walt Disney World. Disneyland is probably a different story. Disney World is so expansive between all the resorts and all the shopping areas and all the rides and all the food areas, and there's just so much going on there. Don't try.
Yeah. The biggest downfall that you will have is thinking that you can do everything, because you won't, and you're going to get upset that you can't. Like he said, when we first went, I'm a planner, so I had everything set down to like the minute that we were going to do it.
And it was horrible.
And it was completely thrown off within the first 10 minutes of trying it. So, I was stressed out for the entire day, and it took me a while to realize what actually worked for our family and what actually worked for a lot of people. And just don't be afraid to just leave.
And on a personal note, you spend so much time at Disney trying to see it all that you end up forgetting what's important. It's not about getting through everything. It's about enjoying the experience. And if all you're doing is running from one attraction to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, you don't truly get to experience the parks and the resort in general. Like, if you go and you're staying on property at Art of Animation, say, and they have some really fantastic pools there, and they have little things that they do, like they had movies on the grass at night, and they have pizza parties, and they have dance parties for kids and arts and crafts, and these are all things that are little hidden things that you get to enjoy if you do not try to rush through everything. Slow down. One of my fondest memories of Art of Animation, for example, it was just going and laying on the grass at night with a pizza and watching the movie.
Yeah.
And these are the memories that you make that you will keep with your children, especially. But another one of my fantastic memories just happened recently. We went to Epcot just a couple weeks ago for Food and Wine. It was just me and her. First time we had actually been to a park with just me and her at Disney. We hardly rode any rides.
We did a few. We sat and we watched things and just
experienced some of the shows that we didn't get to enjoy. Slow down. You're not going to do it all. There's people who live there who have season passes that don't get to do it all. There's people who literally go there every single week and have for years that still have not seen everything. And with Disney, Walt Disney World, as soon as you see everything, they add a bunch of new stuff and it changes again. So it's never going to stop growing. You're never going to be able to do it. Take your time.
Yep. Slow down.
So, all right, moving on. Heather from YouTube from Colorado.
Heather.
Colorado is beautiful. Should I take my kids out of school to save on cruise fares? Oh, Lordy, you gonna get in trouble, Heather.
Okay, Heather. So here is my opinion, and this is my opinion only. Yeah, I believe in family vacations. I believe in enrichment. However, once your kids start getting older and schoolwork becomes a little harder, it might be harder to make this happen. And also, you need to check with your school district to see if they have plans in place for this type of thing. I know our school district, they won't necessarily say, no, you can't take your kids out of school, but they won't approve the absence. So it'll count against like their parent note allotment if you guys have that in your school system. But to me, being able to experience things means a lot more than sitting at a desk for 6 hours.
Well, and in the grand scope of, I mean, it depends too. If you're doing it, 1 week every 2 or 3 years,
yeah,
it's a week.
nothing.
I mean, in the
You're
grand
not
scope of
gonna
things,
do it 5 times in one semester, but
that would be a bit much. But everything in moderation. That week worth of life experience is worth just as much as a week worth of education in some cases. And really, it's a week. How much are you actually missing in a week?
right. And in our case, we are going to be gone a week for Icon in January, and I started talking to the school officials in August about this upcoming absence, about what that would look like and what we needed to do. They told me, okay, it's not going to be an excused absence, per the school, but you can use your parent notes. And we have 7 days of parent note allotments at our school before, I guess, a truancy kind of flash is issued. So that's what we're going to do. She'll be missing 5 days of school, but everything that she does is electronic. So she can take her laptop with us if we have to, and we can work on it before or after the cruise. And all of her assignments will kind of be on there. And the teachers have been really receptive. So it's not going to be an issue for us. But, you do need to make aware, what's going on and make sure that you can get that work made up for them.
Yeah, that's a very personal thing. So it just depends.
I don't see a problem with it, but
life experiences are just as important.
Absolutely. So go with it. Check with your school district.
Jenny from YouTube, again from Florida.
Jenny from the block.
What are your recommendations for shoes, clothes at Disney for plus size people?
Oh.
Nothing. Just go naked. Naked is good. I like naked.
Okay, Jenny.
Disney frowns upon it, but
footwear is the most important thing. You need a good pair of tennis shoes. I don't care if you're plus size or if you're not plus size. Don't go to Disney in uncomfortable shoes.
You'll be hating life.
I've seen people in heels, and I'm like, how in the world? What are you doing to yourself? Invest in a good pair of tennis shoes. On Clouds, Hoka's, Brooks, something along that line. Maybe go and get fitted for a good pair of shoes. Here in East Tennessee, I have a store called Fleet Feet. I go in, they will map my feet and see where my pressure points are and actually find the shoe that's right for me. So I'm not wearing ill-fitted shoes, which has been a game changer for me personally.
And it's not that much more expensive than going to Dick's or something like that.
So definitely you have to invest in a good pair of shoes. As for clothing, you want lightweight, flowing, breathable clothing. And I recommend for your lower garments, something that is fitting. So you want like biker shorts, leggings, capris. Don't wear jeans. You don't want anything that's going to rub your inner thighs and cause chafing.
That's not just for plus sizes. That's for everybody.
Yeah. If your thighs touch, you definitely need some something in between your thighs to keep them from rubbing together and getting that chafing. I also take like a Vaseline stick or some Vaseline with me to the park every time I go, just in case I have that issue, because you can put a little bit of that on your inner thighs and it'll help. But yes, I typically wear either leggings or biker shorts, and then either like a tunic top or a dress. And that way I still kind of look cute, but I'm comfortable and I've got everything, in its right place.
I also wear a dress, and it's I always look cute.
He does. And also, don't be afraid or embarrassed if you really have trouble getting around to get an ECV. They are available for everyone. You do not have to have a handicap reason to buy an ECV. Anybody can get one. And if it'll make your day more enjoyable, rent the ECV. Don't get held up on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Renee from Twitter from North Carolina.
Renee.
My mom.
Don't walk away, Renee.
What?
Sorry.
What was that? My mom is unable to stand or walk a lot, but we still want her to experience Disney with us and the grandkids. What recommendations do you have for us? I think she just answered that in the previous question.
Yeah.
Get an ECV.
Get an ECV.
Even if she's not handicapped officially, if she has mobility issues,
an ECV is going to be your best bet. Don't get a wheelchair and push her around all day. That's going to make it hard on you. Get the ECV. It ends up being $50 to rent it at Disney World. You pay $70 up front. You're going to get $20 back at the end when you show your receipt and turn in the key. So really, for your peace of mind and your, comfort, it's worth it. And the good thing about Disney is all of their queues are ECV friendly. So if you have to wait in line for whatever ride, you just take that ECV right in the line with you. When you get to the ride vehicle, the cast members will show you where to park. They will take care of the ECV for you so that it meets you at the right exit. And then you just have to be able to, transfer into the ride vehicle itself. So, I mean, this has been a game changer for us because I've got my papaw. I mean, he goes and, he uses an ECV, and when he goes on rides, he just rides it right through the queue. Yeah, it's not an issue at all. So definitely do that. And I think she will have a wonderful time.
All right. Haley from YouTube.
Haley.
I could not secure a bippity. Oh, okay, I got it. Bippity Boppity Boutique reservation.
Okay.
Any recommendations on how to get one? Can you walk up?
Okay, Haley. This is probably one of the hardest reservations to get in Disney World. The only thing I can tell you is to keep trying. Every day things can open up. People cancel all the time. So I would check every day. Also, I don't think you can walk up. It definitely depends on how busy the park is. So you can always walk up and see if there's been a cancellation or a no-show, and you might get lucky. However, if all of those things don't work out, buy your daughter or your son or whoever a princess dress, a pirate outfit, a prince costume off of, Etsy, Amazon, the Disney store online. Get them something, and that way you can dress them up, fix their hair for their park day. At Magic Kingdom, if you go into Sir Mickey's, right next to the castle, adjacent to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, you can get pixie dusted for completely free. One of the cast members will act as their fairy godmother and spread a wish over them, which is absolutely fantastic. I've had it done to myself. So, definitely something very cool and good to experience, even if you don't get the full Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique experience. So.
All right, we're running out of time, so we're going to kick it up a little bit, try to get through these.
Okay.
Lily from YouTube.
Lily.
Is character dining worth it, and which one would you recommend?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, character dining.
It depends on which one, whether it's worth it.
Really, really expensive, and it depends on who you want to meet. Probably the best bang for your buck is probably going to be Chef Mickey's, where you get the Fab Five. I recommend going for breakfast. Um, the one of the best meals I've ever had at a character dining was Cinderella's Royal Table. I thought it was really, really good, where you get to meet princesses. I'm not a fan of Be Your Guest. I just don't think the food is that good. And for picky eaters, it's a little hard to combat that. Topolino's Terrace for breakfast is excellent, and you get to meet some of the characters there. So yeah, I think it just depends on your budget. Can you fit it into your budget? And is it something that's really high up on the kiddos or your bucket list for Disney? So you need to decide that. And then if it is, then go for it.
Chef Mickey's is great for meeting the characters. The food was just,
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't bad.
We're trying Akershus coming up. We haven't done that one. So I'll be able to tell you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. News to me.
I'll be able to tell you about Akershus.
What is it?
Akershus. It's in Norway, and it's where it's a princess dining.
I learn something new every day.
Yep.
I've never even heard of this.
Charles is going to Akershus.
Okay.
Next.
Molly from North Carolina.
Molly.
I want to surprise my kids with a cruise for Christmas. Do you have any ideas? Yes, I do. Head over to oceanearstravel.com, fill out the contact form, and we will be glad to meet your budget. Sorry, I shouldn't have took that one. I'll let you handle it.
Well, to surprise them for Christmas, you can do all sorts of things. My favorite thing when I want to surprise my kid is to send them on a scavenger hunt to where I have like clues for them to go into, the kitchen drawer to pick up another clue or whatever. So you can have them running all over the house, finding clues and trying to figure out where it is, and then have the last clue lead into a box in the closet, and they open up the box and it's one of the blow up ships or the, ship model or, some different, cutouts from the website, different things. Another thing that one of my friends did was they did a word scramble. So they had a bunch of letters and they had their kids try to move the letters around and figure out what they're doing. You could do a series of gifts to where they have like box 1, box 2, box 3. And it's like, the first box is a sand pail and a bucket. Or the second box may be a t-shirt that has like, Smith Family Vacation, whatever. And then have them try to figure it out from there. So definitely lots of ideas.
All right.
Yay.
We got a couple more.
Okay, let's get them.
Mary from Instagram.
Mary.
Looks like she is from, I don't know, whatever. Mary from Instagram. She's from somewhere out there in La La Land.
Somewhere.
Should I dine at the specialty restaurants on my cruise? Yes. If you have the budget for it.
Yeah, it always back to your budget.
Some of them are fantastic.
Some of them are really good. And if you think about what you're getting compared to what you would have to pay on land, it's an excellent value. Most of the steakhouses are about $50 a person. And if you go to an expensive steakhouse on land, you're not getting out of there for less than $150, $200. So it's definitely worth it in that regard. A lot of your cruise lines are going to have these dining packages now, where if you buy more than one night, you can usually get it at a discount. So look into that. But yeah, there's a lot of really good eats on cruise ships now. And, I don't usually have any trouble dining at the included options, but if your budget allows it, go for it.
I'm a big fan of chops on Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, we like the steakhouse.
So, all right.
Next.
Becky. What theme park do you suggest in Orlando as a plus size person? Not Universal.
Everything Disney, really.
Universal is not very plus size friendly.
Universal definitely need to be, on the slimmer side.
But most theme parks are not extremely plus size friendly.
They're not. The ride vehicles have to be a certain way for safety, and I completely get that. Disney has just taken into the account that they're catering to families, and families aren't necessarily going to go somewhere that they can't experience things together. So, there's really not an issue at Disney. Flight of Passage is the only thing that I have an issue with. And that's just because my calves are too big.
Everything else has been fine.
Everything else is fine. Even Tron has a car that is accessible for larger, fluffier folk. So anything Disney, go for it.
Universal, not so much, but Universal does have great rides. So, and it depends on what your definition of plus size is. Plus size is a wide range.
It is. And if you are probably under 300, maybe a size 22 or less, you're probably going to be okay on most things.
Maybe.
I mean, they have tester seats at most ride instances, so you can check that out and see for yourself. But as someone that is a little bit north of the 300 mark and a little fluffier, I have trouble at Universal, Busch Gardens, so Disney's not an issue for me on anything, though.
All right, last one.
Last question.
And we're going to wrap this up. The main event. Libby from Ohio. Didn't we already have her once? Maybe she had 2 questions. I don't know. What outside services do you recommend for shore? Okay. What outside sources do you recommend for shore excursions? All right, I'm not answering this question just because you made it too difficult for me to say.
Shore excursions. All right. So, Libby, I'm assuming you're saying anything outside of like the cruise line.
Cruise lines. That's what it sounds like. Be cautious with this.
Depending on where you're going. I know for Nassau and for some other like more popular tourist towns, if you go to resortforaday.com, you can get passes to different resorts, and that's a good option. Usually, then you are close by to the cruise port. You are available to get taxis to and from really easily so that you can judge when you need to get back. Another good option is Viator, viator.com. Viator. They're going to have a lot of excursion options. You just want to make sure that you are going to be back before your ship leaves port. So usually you need to allow an hour buffer for that. And, a lot of times the excursion times will be listed when you're looking at these things. And you need to be kind of conscious on your cruise ship schedule when you're looking. And also there needs to be a caveat in there that if it is a private excursion, are they guaranteed to get you back to your ship or get you to your next port of call if something happens?
I always lean on the side of caution. I am not a huge fan of the outside excursions. Usually, to me, it's just worth the extra money to do it through the cruise line just to have that peace of mind. Because if you book it through the cruise line, they will not leave without you.
Yeah.
That's just my personal preference. But there are some good outside excursions available.
Yeah.
But you are kind of on your own and at the mercy of other people when you do that. So keep that in mind.
Yes, there are other things out there, so just keep that in mind.
So that is going to wrap it up. Please keep your questions coming, and we will be glad to answer these again in the future. We'll do another one of these down the road. Still want to do a live stream at some point, just have not found a appropriate time to do that yet. But that is coming. We will continue to work on bringing that to you. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our YouTube channel and to our podcast on Spotify or Apple. We appreciate that very much. I do not have anything else. Do you?
No. Just glad everybody's here. And
don't forget to like and subscribe. Head on over to oceanearstravel.com, your one-stop shop where you can find all the videos, podcasts, merchandise, or book your trip.
Yes, it looks good. So next time, friends, we'll see you later.
So until next time.